If you have your sun, moon, or rising in Aquarius, this is everything you need to know about your 2026 horoscope. All the other signs, keep on scrolling. Your videos are coming. Aquarius, we need to chat about 2025 first. March 14th, there was a full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, and this probably brought some sort of major ending to your relationship with finances. Maybe you paid down debt. Maybe you accrued some more debt. Maybe there was an important contract or negotiation afoot. It also have been some sort of loss or a dealing emotionally with your shadow side, some of your fears and insecurities, and it required you to be incredibly raw and vulnerable. On March 29th, you learned some fated and important news under a solar eclipse in Aries. This could have looked like a new contract, an important development with a sibling, an extended family member, a best friend. Maybe you decided to go back to school or you were booking important travel. And on March 30th, Neptune entered Aries for the first time in your lifetime. And this could have also brought a little bit more confusion to your mind. Maybe you were mixing up dates or appointments or meeting times. Maybe you were feeling a little bit more creative or wanting to work on a creative writing project or a podcasting project. May 24th, Saturn entered Aries, and you might have had to set an important boundary in a friendship or with a family member. There could have also been the end of a contract or some sort of difficult conversation that you needed to have. June 9th, Jupiter entered Cancer, and you are probably feeling a little overwhelmed with your daily routine, schedule, and maybe you are also making great strides towards breaking certain habits and patterns. It's very possible you learned some wild and unexpected but lucky news around July 7th when Uranus entered Gemini for the first time in many of our lives since the 1940s. Maybe you were experimenting with your sexuality, or you learned lucky news, or you found some sort of exciting moment with a romantic partner, or you were taking a creative risk. By September 7th, there were major changes to your finances under a full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. Maybe a job ended. Maybe you were accepting a new role or stepping into more responsibility. Or maybe there was an important purchase you needed to make. By September 21st, there was a new moon solar eclipse in Virgo, and this brought some sort of major shifts to your relationship with shared resources. Maybe you had to have a conversation with a romantic partner or a business partner or roommates about financial expectations and responsibility. You were also probably thinking more about reciprocity in your connections and also exploring your relationship with healing and your own psychology. This could have been a really powerful time to have some sort of interaction that felt really vulnerable and meaningful with someone important in your life. But we are here to talk about 2026, so let's get into it. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Stephanie Campos. I'm a professional astrologer and psychic medium, and I have a monthly horoscope segment on NBC. Aquarius, you start the year out as the main character because there is a Mars-Pluto conjunction in your sign on January 27th. And this is going to require you to navigate some very uncomfortable power dynamics. This also puts you face to face with your shadow side, your fears, especially in your relationships or any fear you have regarding asserting yourself and your needs, or taking up space and sharing your gifts and your unique magic with the world. On February 17th, there is a new moon solar eclipse in your sign. And this is the first time we're having eclipses in the sign of Aquarius since like 2008, 2009. This is going to bring major fated changes to your relationships and your sense of self. You could meet a long-term partner. You could have some sort of new, exciting long-term contract that enters your life. You might reflect on your own self-expression, how you show up in the world, and maybe you're ready to show up more authentically. On February 20th, we have a Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Aries, and this is going to bring some sort of major reality check, ending, but also a new era to your relationship with your mindset. You might be letting go of limiting beliefs. You might also be studying something new or working on a major writing project or some sort of project that involves your self-expression and storytelling. There can also be major changes regarding your relationships with siblings, best friends, and extended family members as well. From February 26th through March 20th, there is a Mercury retrograde in Pisces, and this is going to bring attention to your relationship with finances. So payments can be delayed. If you're negotiating a new job, if you're applying to jobs or in the interview process, it might take a little bit longer. You might also hear from old coworkers or old jobs, and maybe they have some sort of new opportunity for you or want to get back in touch for some reason. This is also a great time to rework your finances and your budget. On March 3rd, there's a full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, which is still bringing attention to your relationship with your finances. Maybe a job ends, maybe there's some sort of new career opportunity that pops up. You're also reflecting on your ongoing obligations and commitments and thinking more about reciprocity and who you pour your time, effort, and energy into, and what you pour your time, energy, and effort into, and how that comes back to you in return. This is also a powerful time to reflect on your own healing journey and to make changes around your own psychology, patterns, some of your fears, your shadow side. Put yourself in touch with some of those feelings and insecurities and embrace them instead of running from them. April 19th is going to be a rough day for everybody in the sky, and that is because Mars and Saturn are forming a conjunction in the sign of Aries. For you, you could learn some sort of news that feels disappointing. Maybe you hit a stumbling block, a roadblock. You really want to move forward with a contract, an idea, a project, something you're learning, a relationship, a friendship, but there is something that is requiring you to slow down, set a boundary, and kind of take your time before moving forward. Don't you worry, because on June 9th, Venus and Jupiter are coming together in the sign of Cancer, and they're the two luckiest planets in the sky. For you, this is going to bring long-awaited recognition for your hard work, your effort. If you have been working really hard on a specific project, whether it's at work or in your personal life, something you've committed yourself to, whether it's changing a certain routine or committing to a creative project, it's finally starting to pay off. From June 29th through July 23rd, we have a Mercury retrograde in Cancer, and this is going to ask you to rework your habits and your lifestyle. So if there are any patterns or habits that you've been wanting to kick to the curb, this is your time. It's also going to serve up lessons that help you navigate and set new boundaries with people. There might also be changes at your day job, or maybe you need to pay more attention to your health and find a healthier work-life balance. On June 30th, Jupiter enters Leo, and at the very beginning of this transit, this is going to bring up some power struggles in your one-on-one relationships. But ultimately, this is a transit that lasts a full year. And over time, this is going to bring blessings and support to your one-on-one relationship. So that could look like a long-term committed relationship, romantic relationships, but it can also look like important contracts and people in your life that are helping you support some of your dreams, your hopes for the future, and make progress on your goals. On July 4th, there might be some drama in your romantic life when Mars and Uranus form a conjunction in the sign of Gemini. On one hand, this could look like some sort of argument in a romantic relationship, but for others, this could really give you the confidence, the courage to experiment either romantically, sexually, or even creatively. On July 26th, the nodes of fate and destiny enter the signs of Leo and Aquarius. And over the next 18 months, this is going to bring fated changes to your one-on-one relationships, but also your sense of self. So your relationship axis, how you show up in relationships, the types of relationships you have, important people in your life, some might exit, but some new important people and figures might enter your life as well. August 12th, there's a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Leo, also bringing attention to your one-on-one relationships. So this could look like taking the next step with a partner. This could look like meeting someone pivotal or important, whether it's professionally or platonically, or finding the perfect roommate, or signing a perfect contract, or moving in with a lover. On August 28th, there's a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces, and this is bringing attention to your relationship with your finances. So again, there is some sort of shift at work. Maybe you are paying off something important or making an important purchase or reworking your budget, or maybe you're taking on more responsibility and stepping into a new role. October 3rd through November 14th, we have a Venus retrograde in the sign of Scorpio and Libra, and this is going to bring major changes and reworkings to your career, the type of work you do. It can bring old people back into your life. It can bring up drama in the workplace. It can help you confront a toxic boss. It can also help you gain more confidence in your own gifts and talents and what makes you stand out in your field. This is also a time where you might reconsider going back to school, or maybe you want to travel to a place that you used to really enjoy, or maybe you are spending more time reflecting on your political views, your understanding of the world around you. From October 24th through November 13th, we have a Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, and this is the final major transit of the year. This is also going to be focused on your career. So there is some sort of change regarding the type of work that you do or your relationship to your coworkers. This this is a time to kind of retool and reshape your long-term major goals that you've been set on. Are they still in alignment? Do they still feel fulfilling? Maybe there is something new that you are ready to chase after instead. If you enjoyed your yearly horoscope and want to know more about your daily horoscope, you can tune into my podcast, Daily Horoscope for Your Zodiac Sign with Stephanie Campos. Thanks so much and see you tomorrow.